as a person who was in the system, I know that, of course, we have to think more broadly about the system, but individuals also have a responsibility. You know, when I come home, I have a responsibility, right? If I, like I did before, engage in certain behaviors that deprecate my community, then I'm responsible for that.
That means 65% of us didn't go back to prison, but we ain't paying attention to the 65 that could possibly help the 35. We keep looking at the 35% as if something is wrong with them. Again, not looking at how the system or society has impacted that transition to being successful.
Millions of people can move in and out of a prison and jail back into the community health system and then back in again, at rates of 35% or 65% within years, is kind of mind-blowing, right? That you would move from these health systems.
So you really understand what those numbers are saying. I think it will humanize research, and it will make for better research that's more impactful and leads to real relevant policy changes that are more likely to be successful because they're grounded in the truth of the people who are experiencing these issues.
And so I think for staff to have a context for the work that we do, understanding, for instance, the impact of trauma, the why, to know that each of us as individuals have different hurdles that we have to clear up, different heights. I think that allows us to be more effective, whether you're a correction officer working right there on the front line on the unit or a parole agent.
We have to create workplaces where people can show up as their fullest selves without this stigma of being a returning citizen and that stigma of incarceration.
No matter where you are, we can help break down the isolation that has been imposed by our criminal legal system. And that's all of our responsibility to invest in people's success.
For us to both take stock of where we've been, but to chart a new course where we can go. And it's going to take all of us.
Confronting our own history, and that's a project of reckoning with the racial dynamics of punishment in America, confronting it squarely, and then holding our government accountable for undoing the damage so that we have a very different future.
Limit on how you measure recidivism unless you talk to individuals that's incarcerated.
That made the conversation at the table, real.